What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. We got Alan House. Good morning to you. Good morning to Albert, Amy, Andy. Good morning to Bill, Daniel, Lauren, Lucian, Marius, Michael. Good morning to Mike. We got Peter in the house. Good morning to you. Rick is rocking with us. Good morning to Rob, Tom, Virginia in the house. All my people out in YouTube land, all my lurkers in the background. Not gonna say nothing all day. Just that's okay. I still love you. Hit that like and subscribe button. And yeah, Tesla, I don't know what the numbers are, but Tesla just came out with some auto numbers. Looks like so far positive reaction. I think it was the US auto numbers. I don't know if it was Tesla specifically, but yeah, Tesla is running a little bit. Not much different than the SPY. SPY is up, opening to all-time highs. We closed at all-time highs. We broke through that what was it, 667.13 zone that we've been kind of eyeing down, 667.32, something like that, for a while. So double top is officially off the table, and the market is going to continue to rally. It looks like for today, though, I've got no targets higher. Back when we were at 620, I was like, I don't know, maybe hit 670. We're passing that now. Still in that range, but so I got no targets higher. Otherwise, this is a big retest gap. You do have 2 days in a row of buying. Impressive move from the Bulls. Government shutdown does not matter, but watch for 669.08 is your retest spot if we do pull back a little bit, which I would expect probably a little bit. We got the Qs also opening at all-time highs. We had to break through 602.59. We got the VPOC from yesterday above that, so that's telling me that there's some investors out there thinking we are not high enough in this market. Great close and good follow through again. Problem with the day trading is that is a pretty good looking fade. I don't know if the 603.18 is where I would expect some support, but if you're going to go short, you're going to be shorting into some longer term strong bullish momentum. So be careful on some of the day trades today. Otherwise, this should be a little bit of a retest. And again, there's no targets higher on Qs. BTC USD looks fantastic. So we had a spot somewhere around this 117 180 181. We also got yesterday's VPOC higher than all that. We closed above yesterday's VPOC and closing above that last pivot. Not only that, but you have your next target. Bitcoin's putting some work in it at this moment. We'll see if it holds. Again, it's a pretty big move. Otherwise, I would be looking for some kind of what should have been resistance, 118,993. We're taking all that out. Next stop, it looks like 119,920. If we start getting closes above there, 121,647 is going to be a monster, and that would be your all-time high one. So after that, we have psychological levels, 123,333. I think if we take out this, if we could, and maybe it takes a day or two. Maybe we need a pullback before we launch into that one. But that's setting up for a pretty good weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the crypto space. It looks like we shall see. Retail investor frenzy. Yeah. Retailers, but also I think hedge funds. I think there's still tons of money sitting on the sidelines. And then you also have the lowered interest rates. So treasury bond market not looking as good as it once was. If you're sitting there watching the stock market go up 10% a day, I don't know if that's probably not 10% a day, but it feels like it. And then you're sitting there with treasuries at 3.75, 3.8, something like that. Knowing that the rates are coming down, you're probably a little hesitant to renew those treasuries and put it into something that is growing at a much faster pace. So, yeah, that's a lot of money in the bond market that potentially can be moved over to the stock market as well, into equities. Meta, last couple days have been kind of hanging into a cliff. Yesterday, nice little hammer, good volume on this one. On that breakdown, we kind of held that next little support. Where did we actually get down to on this one? It's kind of a I don't know. We didn't really bounce off of. Yeah, I guess we bounced off this one. Yeah, that's where we bounced. We bounced off the VPOC from July 29th. So that was your last kind of down day. We had one more weaker close, and if we end up selling, if we start breaking this candle, look for about $700.12. Otherwise, that's a pretty decent candle to get your bounce off of. So not bad on that one. Um, you're opening into a little tiny resistance. I think you have a nice looking gap fill for retest. Maybe if you pull back into the high of yesterday. It's a gap and go for today, so I'm not. If it wants to do a full on retest, it's going to take us into 118.18. With the gap and go, that much momentum, pretty clear gap fill above us. I think my target would take me to about 733.14. And again, in a longer term picture, and right now, Nvidia's at all time highs. AMD's having a great day today. Um, Palantir's looking decent. Everything tech related or AI related, and Meta's got a lot of AI with it too. So you might see not only a bounce just for that gap fill, but you might see a longer term bounce here as well. This would be an interesting spot to do it if it does. But yeah, maybe we get a small pullback. Otherwise, gap and go. I'd be looking for maybe a high wave candle, something hammer, something like that at open. Pre-market breakout would be decent as well. But a lot of room on that one, so let's throw that one higher on the list. Next one I see is Netflix. Uh-oh. All right, how do I talk about this one without getting canceled? But yeah, so Elon has canceled his membership. It seems like the story is kind of picking up where a lot of other people are also canceling. You're starting to see more clips from some of the Netflix shows specifically designed for kids, talking about some topics that some people might not like. I think I handled that one appropriately. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm on here tomorrow. Other than that, yeah, not a great trend for Netflix. The catalyst is kind of changing a little bit until we get either some news from Netflix that something has changed or time passes and people stop talking about Netflix. But can I elaborate? Lucian don't want me here tomorrow. Oh, now that's a trap if I've ever seen one, Lucian. Yeah, no, I will not not elaborate. Otherwise, a little bit of a retest gap for today. Again, it's a tough one to go long on playing that retest. I think if you want to take it short, the story will change as soon as they start talking live sports again, something like that. But we are pretty high up here. So for right now, I'm not going to go long. I'm not going to stake a position on Netflix. To the downside, volume wise, we got maybe into like this 1143.98 zone. We got, I mean, compared to where we were at this 1211 zone, there's tons of volume there. There's tons of volume at 974. So a much bigger pullback could happen. There's some volume to hold us, but not really that much in comparison. So we'll see if we pull back a little bit more on this one, and we'll see if the story kind of picks up. And then we'll also that earnings, which we have some time, not too far. We got some October 21st until their earnings conference call. We'll see what they comments they make, how many people are actually canceling, or is it just a lot of social media? So we'll see. But otherwise, for now, Catalyst bad. Look for maybe a big support around 11 48 if you're looking to go continue to go short, but I probably would like to see a bounce before shorting that one a little bit more. We got Meta we did take a look at KTOS. Yep. And he says Rivian. Yeah, they had earnings today too. Or what could have been earnings. We got KTOS all-time highs, defense and security. If you're in it, it looks good. It looks like continuation. I if your account is higher at the open and a little bit lower on the stock at the end, that would make sense. It is a retest gap. Probably looking for a fade to like 92.73. I think that's where the bulls are sitting. But up here, I'm not going to get into it for a long term. I'm not going to get into it for a swing trade. So that leaves day traders probably interested on this one, unless there's some crazy valuation or news or something that I don't know about that would give me a reason to be like, this thing should be $200 stock. But yeah, if you're in it, I would keep holding. Looks really, really good. Hasn't broken that downtrend yet. At open, I probably think there could be a little bit of a pullback for that one. So I don't want to go bullish. Again, strong trends with, I mean, this one and most other stocks, which is crazy. Let's go to Rivian, RIVN. Rivian is so they came out with earnings. I didn't see the numbers. I did see the initial reaction as soon as it happened, but Rivian Automotive delivered 13,201 units in Q3, surpassing estimates. So that was a good number for them. The company revised its full year guidance, so maybe the guidance, maybe they're down on that one a little bit. But other than that, again, monster retest gap. If this one comes lower, I wouldn't mind trying to play that fade on this one, especially in the buy the everything type market. It's like I mean, you're going to give me a stock with 4 red days and then gap down after. I mean, I don't know how my broker just doesn't automatically buy. But if it had AI in it, it would just be like, yeah, the market trend is buy everything. I think I would wait, see if this one comes a little bit lower. First spot would be $14.08. With this news, maybe get a little panic. You are taking out a pretty good bullish volume candle. Targets on this one. That gets a little tricky. You got $14.34. You got 14.44 if we do a full-on retest. Even coming into that close of yesterday, it's 14.61. So come down a little bit more. Big support, 13.79. I think closest you get to that would be your better spot for trying to buy the dip, sell some puts, something like that on Rivian. We got Palantir. Palantir, like everything else, retest gap. If it does a full retest, that would take us into 184.97. I think that would be a really strong spot. We did break out of a bunch of days of consolidation. Got scary on September 25th, but really that was just a retest of that breakout candle. So that still looks healthy. Trend looks good. Fantastic close yesterday. Only thing I would be worried about going into the close of yesterday is can we get a break above 186.25? Looks like that was the high point of yesterday as well. Market makers doing the hard work for us. So this one, yeah, if you get that full on retest, that'd be fantastic. I don't know if it comes down that far. Maybe you get a pullback small one to this 186.37 zone. Maybe we crater into this 185.79, but yeah, small pullback. Everything looks good on Palantir. I think it goes higher from here. Only thing left holding us back at this point is 189.05, good psychological level, and this 189.98, essentially 190. But market looks like they want to take that one higher. I would still be bullish Palantir at this point. AMD. Um, I'm kind of torn on this one because I'm still in it on a swing. It's past my 2 hour target. So I kind of just want to take my gains and just be like, cool, good trade. That being said, I again retest gap, taking out a lot of barriers. I was worried about this 167.67 to get to my 2 hour target. They took that out. It's got a lot of room higher. I think you got probably two for today, possibly 171.48. I'm gonna hit the market sell, I think on AMD at open. Um, because it's already doing more than I needed it to do. And I typically trade the targets. If this one continues to pull back, I will set up another swing trade on AMD. I think it looks really good. You got some room, not too much more room left for today, 171.38. If it does want to go something crazy, 173.81. But on dips, I will look to buy again. But unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to exit. I really don't want to. I'm sad. Kind of sad. If we get down to the 167.78, that might be a spot for a day trade. If it comes a little bit lower, I'll probably reset a swing. But really good gap on AMD for today. They did have news yesterday where they were partnering with Intel's Foundry. So they had a little bit of rando volume that came in during the day, somewhere late afternoon. Intel got a really good pump off of it. AMD was just kind of chilling, but looked like some volume. We tried to day trade this one. We got kind of close to targets. I even said yesterday, I was like, man, I kind of like it as a swing as opposed to a day trade, but it could do some fun things, but just didn't want to get to targets yesterday. Other than that, yeah, I'm gonna sell my shares at open. We'll see. We got Hood getting into DraftKings and FanDuel's territory, pushing some of the sports betting next to your 401ks. You could bet the World Series now with your retirement money. I think that's a smart move. You could why not? Other than that, yeah, it still looks really good. Concerned a little bit about yesterday's VPOC closing. So not great. However, that is two monster candles. That is a resting candle closing slightly under the previous day's VPOC. I think there's a really, really nice open on this one. Still inside day, so maybe a pullback. I think if this one could get back down to like this 139.72, that would be an interesting spot to go long. I think that this candle probably gets taken out. Whether it's today, maybe we need another inside candle and then we gap up tomorrow or something. But I think this one continues to go higher from here for Robinhood. Really, really strong move. Looks decent. SMR, New Scale Power Corporation. I mean, it sounds more advanced than Old Scale Power Corporation. Interesting buy spot, maybe for a longer term. Uh, Pretty clear head and shoulders on this one. So that would be my longer term concern. Momentum starting to shift a little bit. I think you got your actual neckline is probably somewhere around here. So you're still slightly above it. We didn't really break down yet. Maybe that provides you, if you are bullish on this name, some decent risk reward where your stops are probably $32, something like that. But not only that, you are also below this pretty big volume zone, 38.96. For this one, it is a retest gap. I think we do pull back. I don't see a reason why we shouldn't come back into yesterday's high, 36.70. If you think that this inverted head and shoulders doesn't hold, and we do go higher, or you like the company, yeah, probably try to go long around this 36.70. Other than that, on a longer term basis, it does look a little toppish. You have that 100 as support. Otherwise, you're probably trying to buy close to that 200. Also, that would line up with a pretty good pullback spot. So 29.56 for a longer term play, I think is a much better location. But yeah, just kind of chopping, I think, for today. I don't think anything too crazy for today. I think that one does pull back. We got Oxy. Uh-huh. So now you got the confirmation that Warren Buffett, I think it was 9.7 billion to buy out Oxy. Warren Buffett at 94 years of age, still a energetic young buck looking to get into the business world. One of these days he'll be successful, I think. Well, I'm rooting for him. But you got Oxy at a pretty big resistance again. We had the news early, we had the rumors early, even as of yesterday, there was starting to be a little bit more concrete news. Only component of Oxy. Oh yeah, he's buying the what is it called? Oxy Chem or something. Baby steps, baby steps. Yeah, Oxy Chem. But again, retest gap at resistance. I did buy some in the money calls that expired January of this coming year. $45 strike. Hoping that maybe that news, once we get the actual confirmation, we go up more than 50 cents, 30 cents. I'll probably flip them out. I'll probably flip them out pretty close today, unless we get an initial pop that pushes us up to 81.21 or higher. Other than that, probably a retest at that resistance. The news is already out. People that are trying to play that news, like me, that's a small really gain, nothing too crazy. So, um, Watch that resistance. Anything above 81.21, then you might have some legs. And next spot, 81.71. Maybe eventually down the road, you get back to this 49.33. Good news with that one, if you are long term, and I still have shares of Oxy too, but um, we've been to those higher spots before, so it's possible. And if we could get there again, we might have the ability to break out, and you'd be looking for like a 51.49. So still looks decent. You're above decent amount of volume. Not really much holding you back from here until you get to this 49.22 zone, 49.19. But small moves. I think that was a catalyst people were kind of looking for, and even on the news, not a great reaction. We'll see where that opens. I'm hoping it does open higher. Baidu is looking absolutely fantastic. Uh-huh. Nice little move. Again, retest gap. Um, yeah, if we can retest, that's a nice gap though. If we can pull back into this 137.40, I think that would be a fantastic spot to look to go long. That would get you into yesterday's close. That will take you right into that last remaining VPOC. And upside on this one, there's really not a lot of volume. What is the PE of Baidu? Out of curiosity, you're getting even after the move we've had, you are still at a 12.62 PE, extremely low. So in a longer term basis, for anybody that is like this move is too crazy, it's got I it compared to Nvidia's, compared to AMD's, compared to Tesla, especially Tesla, we are still really, really low on a lot of the Chinese names. Baidu is a 12 point. That's crazy. But really, really interesting that I think we have a lot more room on this one. I think we're going to probably run into some longer term resistance. But even after this move, we are still really kind of a lower valuation company at this point. So not bad. But if you get that pullback for a day trade, again, interesting spot. If you get that high wave candle, maybe you could play it if it's not going to fully pull back. But I would see if you get a small little profit taking on that one. Baba, another really good gap up on Baba. Let me pull back. I don't know why I take it off my screen. Finviz, where are we at for Baba? This one's a little bit more expensive. It was a lot cheaper before. You have 21, still extremely low for some of these companies. Let's go into let's take a look where we're at for Nvidia. 53. So, okay, where are we at for AMD? PE of AMD 94. That's a little expensive. Tesla 266. So a 21 PE on Baba, which is starting to talk a little bit more AI. Not too bad in terms of like a longer term push. So still really, really a little on the cheaper side. If you get the pullback on this one, I'm looking for 181.49. But it is a retest gap as well, so be careful on just taking things long out of the gate. Um, I don't think we have monthly volume on this one. Where we're at on the weeklies. Weeklies, we do have some volume. Looks like in this zone can get a little sticky, so maybe you have some resistance right around here somewhere up until I don't know 190, 191 we'll call it. Anything past that, you don't really have anything else holding you back to this 204 zone. Then you got 213, 214, and then maybe back into this longer term 245 zone at some point. But I think we're still early. Personally, I've said it back in probably last year, early this year, when we were sitting down at the $60 zone, $70 zone. I was like, my price target might be like $800 on this one over 10 years. So don't get too crazy. So with some time, especially with buybacks and everything else. Peter says good for you on the. I'm glad I finally started break. It was just too cheap for too long. So now you got a bunch of people chasing, but that's okay. All right, we got 4 minutes. Do we have any other tickers that you guys want to take a look at? AMAT had a pretty good day yesterday. That was a good breakout. Again, strong case for a retest, although this one doesn't really have much holding you back from going further. But that also doesn't mean that the drop and pullback on this one can't be the same. Tesla. Oh yeah. Did we look at Tesla? Tesla. So we got through that 451.46 zone. I've got my next target at 501.88. Um, that being said, monster resistance at, or I don't know, I would expect monster resistance somewhere around, we'll call it 475, but I got 474.89. So getting close to that. If we could close above that candle today, or at any point in the future, that VPOC, the 475 zone, I don't see why we don't hit 501.88 or higher at this point. But that's where I'm looking for. Otherwise, again, retest gap. You know you have some resistance there. I would not be shocked out of my mind, out of my bird, if we end up getting some kind of faded or retest, some kind of pullback. I would use the let's do this. I would use this pre-market candle. So I think if you start taking this one out, 466.89, that might give you your confirmation because there was a lot of people kind of waiting for that news. So probably trying to come in under this candle from 9 o'clock, right when I jumped on, might be an interesting spot to short. That's your confirmation. But I think this is again wouldn't be too crazy or unheard of for a pullback, at least closing a gap when you're opening into a resistance. We got Amazon for a swing. Amazon for a swing. Maybe. Um, Lower would be my entry. I think if you want to start looking at like a 2027 for an entry, that would be decent. Still inside day candle for today, and then you have right at this 221.45, a little bit of resistance on that one too. So again, they've had upgrades. They got everything you kind of want to see in a stock that should be going higher. You just had this kind of little bit of a pullback. Um, to the lower side, you technically didn't pull back this 214.45 yet. So I think that would be a much better risk reward if you get down there. Yesterday was a retest gap and kind of closed okay, not too bad, but interesting spot. I think I would really like to get my stops on a swing down to like 211.15. So at this point, that'd be a little too high of a price. Um, but if I was to go a little more aggressive, 216.23, I feel like I get stopped and then it starts popping. But yeah, not bad. I don't think I'm quite there yet for a swing. Let me take a look real quick at APP. Yeah, you know me, just inside day, nothing too crazy yet, but obviously the trend is bullish with pretty decent amount of volume to get there too. But watch for 707.05. If that breaks down, you do have a lot of room for retest 666.67. Everybody on YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you